Hi there, welcome to Let's Talk Tottenham, the North London derby, first one of the season. Very, very close. Tomorrow, 12:30. We're previewing that today. We've got Steve Featley, Arsenal fan, coming on shortly. We will have both sides. I'm assuming he's not a fan of Arteta, so it'll be interesting to see what he makes of their start. We've got Nick in the chat. How you doing, Nick? Big up everyone. Not long now until the North London derby. Come on, you Spurs. And Carl Simpson. How you doing, Carl? Hello all. Hope everyone is well. Two great guests already. Steve to come a bit later on. Brian, been on here plenty of times. How you doing, buddy?
It's North London derby weekend, so all roads lead to the filth. So on that note, I'm wonderful. In other ways, not so much, but we're not going into that. This is a Tottenham stream and a North London derby special. So, but it's good to be back on the channel, Chris, because it's been a long time since I've been back on the channel, brother. I apologise for that.
Oh, that's all right, no problem. Always great having you on. And welcome to Ben Coffee. Ben, the Coffee Company, that's his YouTube channel. Not been on the channel before, but spoken to you plenty of times at the games.
Yeah,
how you doing?
Doing all right. It's the calm before the storm. I'm still very calm about it because of my superstitions and whatnot. But hopefully my superstitions are bollocks and it means I can throw them away. So big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to all of you guys. And thanks for having me on as always.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Pleasure having you on. And yeah, Steve will be on shortly. So we talk about Arsenal, but first things first, talk about Tottenham. And slightly away from the North London derby, this guy, Richarlison, has been in the news recently for all the wrong reasons, nothing to do with him. But I don't know if you saw Brazil versus Tunisia. He got racist abuse in terms of when he scored, a banana thrown at him. And I mean, where does this stop? It's absolutely ridiculous. And I mean, he's come out and said how disgraceful it is. Plenty of others coming out how disgraceful it is, and all rightly so. But what really annoys me is that the people who can stop this, the authorities and everyone like that, won't do anything about it. Premier League say it's disgraceful, but then they allow, Newcastle to be taken over by essentially a company who have a country who have horrendous human rights records. And in this day and age where cameras are everywhere in the stadium, surely they could have pinpointed where that guy who threw the banana was. And then it becomes a police matter. It's just... And Rio Ferdinand said it correctly as well, that the furore over the Richarlison banana thrown is exactly the same as the furore that he got for doing the keepy-uppies and then getting clattered against Nottingham Forest. So it's almost as though they're saying that doing a few keepy-uppies and showing off is just as bad as blatant racism, which is absolutely disgraceful. I mean, Chelsea did not Chelsea, but the right thing was done to the guy who blatantly on TV racially abused Raheem Sterling. He lost his job there. So that has, from what he's done there, has caused a massive, massive change in his life for the negative and his family's life. And that's what it needs to happen, I think. A little fine. Someone threw a banana at Aubameyang at Spurs a few years ago, got £500 fine. That's not going to do anything. Long Vince said, half your salary fine. That'll give a bit of a deterrent. But there's no deterrent at the moment, Brian. It's just, well, it's out of order. It's out of order. We carry on. Happens again. Where it's out of order, we don't like it. Do something about it. Give some kind of deterrent about it. Because if you have a deterrent, my brother's wife has a family member who lives in Uganda, and they had a horrendous crime rate. A new prime minister, president, or whatever came in, changed everything. Just let me bring Steve on. How you doing, Steve?
Not bad, you?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. I don't know if you met Brian and
yeah, we met.
Yeah, I met.
Yeah, how you doing? You were just talking about the Richarlison racism that he got against Brazil. But yeah, Brian, Uganda got a new prime minister, president, or whatever it was. He then said when someone committed a crime, they'd be killed and their family murdered as well. Very, very extreme. Murders and crime has completely dropped now and hardly anything happens. It's a very, very drastic way of giving a deterrent, but it shows that deterrents work. I mean, what did you make of it? I mean, there's probably not a huge amount more to say. And just quickly, Mark in the chat. How you doing, Mark?
Yeah, Mark. So first of all, like I said, there's been a lot going on with me right now. I heard there was some racist abuse in football. I had no idea who it was, what it was, and where it was. And now I know this. Just because it's a Spurs player doesn't mean it means more to me. This is a thing that has gone on inside of football and outside of football for way too long. And I can speak very, very openly and freely on this, as could Ben, because of our religion, being proud Jewish people. It's something we've had to suffer and tolerate. Maybe not personally, but and it is totally and utterly unacceptable. And when it happens on international duty, like England used to get it when they went to Bulgaria or all these places, the FIFA or UEFA, whoever are doing it, would depend on the tournament or organizer of the friendlies. They charge countries less than what us people normally make in a job for a month. Yeah. And if that's the deterrent to say, okay, you'll be like you said,
if that's a deterrent, there isn't a deterrent.
Exactly. If you go, you said it was in you said it was in Armenia, yeah.
Uganda.
Where Richarlison.
Oh, it's Brazil versus Tunisia, but I'm not sure where it was played.
So it's in Paris. The Tunisian community.
Yeah, you find this country 10,000, whatever or the equivalent of £10,000, €10,000. That means fuck all to them. Absolutely fuck all. They need to be told until they start saying, like, we're trying to eradicate diving. It's like, if you get caught doing this, not one game behind closed doors, not two closed. You are playing closed doors for a year, and the next qualifying tournament, whether it be the African Cup of Nations, whether it be the World Cup, you start like when clubs go into administration on minus 10 points, or you're not even involved.
The problem with that, though, I think
you're banned. No, you're banned. You're banned from the next tournament.
The problem I feel with that is these people doing it aren't football fans. So if their country gets banned, they don't really care because. You need to find
the football fans will. The football fans will, and be like, "What the hell are you doing?" And when you see these countries, when you see the countries and the prime ministers, the presidents, or whatever delegates see that their country's been named and shamed and kicked out of an international tournament for racism, like what people have done with Russia right now, not in Wimbledon, not in the Olympics, not the World Cup, not this, not that.
Not in F1.
The money that revenue could bring should Tunisia qualify. They have done before. That's big bucks to them. That's big bucks, and it's not a good reputation. So until we start making huge penalties for this will continue. But most importantly, I hope Richarlison is not okay with it, but is okay. If anything, he's going to come back even more pissed off with what's happened, and tomorrow we'll let it all out. So it shouldn't happen to any player from any club in any country. End of.
Yeah. And quickly, Ben, what do you think of all this? I know you've got to jump off shortly.
Knowing me, in London, England, I got racially abused every single day in my school life. The only way you're going to fix racism is at an educational level. From the age of probably 6 years old, you need to be teaching kids all across the world. We live in a society of idiots. The people at the top are idiots and the people at the bottom are idiots. It's the blind leading the blind.
Ben, do you want
to until we absolutely educate people and we breed acceptance into the community, because tolerance is a word that's used a lot. Tolerance is not the right word. We need to accept everyone of all cultures, all sexualities, all opinions, all political opinions. We've got to start accepting people, because we live in a very closed-minded society. We've got all the modern technologies and everything we could possibly dream of, but we still are idiots. We're closed-minded. We're almost cavemen. Education. Until we start fixing the world's education problems and fully funding proper educational standpoints and bringing people together, this is going to continue. You could kick Tunisia out of the tournament, which would probably help a lot, because then you would demonize and then they would start educating their own people. But until there is full education, nothing's going to happen. Period.
It's just a shame, isn't it? Yeah, I know you need to jump off. But quickly, predictions for the game tomorrow.
I know that Tottenham are not going to win the game tomorrow because my dad's going and I am not. My dad is going and I am not going. So I'm a very superstitious man.
Ben, what did I tell you yesterday?
Yeah.
What did I tell you?
I know. Yeah. I'm going to be slightly positive, and I'm going to say it's a Desmond 2-2. I think it's going to be quite a boring 2-2 as well. But as long as Conte plays 3 in the middle, we should be fine. If we play 2 in the midfield, Arsenal are battering us tomorrow, just straight up. Not even. We need to play a proper team, and we'll get through it.
Yeah, and I know you need to jump off very quickly. You have got your own channel as well, the Coffee Company, Coffee spelled on screen there, KAUFFIE. I've dropped the ball there. I've only put one in the description.
No, it's all right. You put the other one in there.
The other one is in there as well. So yes, you can find us at the Coffee Company. It's a shame I didn't get to spend more time, but we're getting visitors very, very shortly. But all for your chat, for positivity, for education, for learning about other people's cultures, learning about Coffee Company. It's a nice place to be. Let's be nice to each other. And of course, now you can find us on Tottenham on Tour as a member of the Fort with Brian Daigle, Brian Ireland, Mr. Danny Kiriakou, with our matchday team of Amir is going to do some stuff for us. And of course, Ryan Isaacs. We're going to build a brilliant thing. We've got some wonderful shows about, including Shelfside on Tour, which is every other Sunday. And yeah, we're trying to build a new Tottenham-focused, brilliant thing that focuses on Tottenham around the world on tour. And we need to bring everyone together.
I haven't dropped the ball because Tottenham on Tour is in the description as well.
Yeah.
I knew I didn't. I was only joking.
Yeah.
But yeah, cheers, Ben. Thanks for coming on, and we'll definitely have you on. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. No problem. I know you need to bounce.
Shabbat shalom, Ben.
Cheers.
Yeah. Take it easy. Cheers, Ben. And yeah, a couple of comments. Simply Ace and Brian. Not content with being on screen, needs to be in the chat as well. Cheers, Brian. Please get your comments in, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Really helps the channel. And then go in the description and find everybody here, including Ben, has their channel as well. It's in the description. But yeah, Steve, the racism. How do you stop this? Because as an Arsenal fan, you've had this as well with Saka after the Euro 2020 final for the horrific act of missing a penalty. Oh no, it happens. How do you stop it? Because it's getting ridiculous now. But until there's a big deterrent in there, I don't see it ever stopping, unfortunately.
Well, it does stem. You have to teach. You have to teach, like your previous guest just said. You have to start with education at that young level. If you want to look at a football club level, there's one example, and I don't give a fuck. I honestly don't give a fuck if people call me out on this or whatever, or any Millwall fans get upset by this. Millwall are a club that shouldn't be existing. Like, they say it's part of their DNA. If it's part of your DNA, fucking delete yourself as a football club. Right? Rather than bury it in administration, why don't you piss off in administration? Right? You're teaching your kids at 4 years old, right, how to slag off your own black players. Right? Yeah. You're slagging them off like for taking the knee, right? And then the next minute you're jumping up and down because he scores you an equaliser. Right? Like he said, we live in a world of idiots, and unfortunately, right, until there's funding to actually, because in the end, government will have to fund, right, to sort out the education. It all comes down to money. Yeah. Money talks. And unfortunately, they don't want to do that. No. Does the government want to spend the peas? No. Does FIFA want to spend the peas on banning teams? No. Do UEFA want to spend money on banning their teams? No. Right? Bulgaria already had, when we went and played them, half their stadium was already closed off. Right? Why wasn't it all called off? Why weren't only England fans not allowed there? Right? To make an example, instead of closed behind all doors, you play England, you let their fans go, but you don't let Bulgaria's fans go. Right? For example. Right? Yeah. You ban them from the next, you make sure, because if you embarrass, right, the country enough, then it might actually spark them up to actually do something. Right? For example, right, if you went back in the mid-80s, we were banned from European football to the point that we had to change our ways. Yeah. Right? So, because we were that embarrassing going away from home. Right? And it's the same here. You have to like after the Euros, I was expecting us to be banned for the next tournament. I was even accepting it because
We should have been.
Yeah, should have been. Like you're racially abusing Rashford, Sancho, and Saka for missing a fucking penalty, right? And some of them were fucking Arsenal fans.
Yeah, it's just until we get away from tweets coming out saying it's absolutely out of order, it's not going to change. Like Ben says, education.
No, because the problem is, here's the other problem as well. Social media doesn't want to spend the peas, right, in tracking these people down.
Yeah, it's very simple, isn't it? You have to verify who you are so they can be tracked, and then if you do something like that, it's a police matter. Yeah,
but here's the thing: you verify it, but you can just quickly delete that account and set up a new one with the exact same email, the exact same password, the exact same title. You can literally do that. Like if you delete that account. So Twitter and Instagram don't pay the money, right, to either fund an algorithm to stop them, right, or forward it to the police so the police can handle it.
Yeah,
right?
Something needs to change, doesn't it? It's just ridiculous.
For example, right, and this is on discrimination, right? Because I've had disability discrimination, right? In year 6 of primary school, right? And by I mean, I don't know what racism is like on any agenda. I can't imagine what it's like to be racially abused, right? But when your liver's failing, you turn yellow. You go jaundice, right? I had school kids taking the piss out of me for it.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was not well. And I was changing my skin color. Right? So it's wrong on any sort of level. I don't condone it. I don't like anyone that does it. Right? And anyone that does it, you ain't welcome on my channel. You ain't welcome on anyone's channel. You ain't welcome society. I'd rather they hang you by your fucking toenails.
Yeah, until something happens.
Actually, make it really painful. Hang them from their frigging knob.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much more we can say on it really, other than what's been said, and something needs to be changing. But let's kind of move on, Brian. Something else, non-Spurs.
What else could we possibly talk about?
Yeah, not related to Arsenal v Spurs, but this was announced yesterday as well. Just your thoughts on this quickly. We've signed a partnership deal with Coca-Cola. Don't. Okay, here we go. I already have, Brian, so it's been put on the banner.
Chris, I'm not giving up a can of Coke.
Once again, we are the only stadium that have moved into a club without naming rights. We are the only stadium or club to move in and go this long without naming rights. We have hired a guy whose expertise is signing naming rights and has done for the NFL and brokered some of the biggest deals. And during this time, we have announced Dulux as our official paint. And now sodded Coca-Cola.
Dulux Coca-Cola Stadium.
What's the fucking do? We have Coca-Cola as a brand new sponsor. How about you get the naming rights done, which you've needed to do for ages, which will generate more money to hopefully go into the squad. But no, let's carry on naming actual sponsors because we've only got 5,800, and let's neglect the naming rights. Why did you say to Coca-Cola, hey mate, listen, it's all well and good being a partner. Do you want to have your first stadium as naming rights? You've got the Pepsi Arena over here in the States or somewhere in North America. How about you have one here in England? Oh no, because we have to declare that. We have to declare that, and that money has to get reinvested in the first team and other. No. Let's just get a fucking sponsor. Oh mate, Mate,
I didn't think you'd be happy with it, but simply Ace here, back what we were talking about. Absolutely disgusting with all the racism going on. Needs to be strong punishment given to fans. Behave like that, so never do it again. I've been a victim myself, so I can relate. I'm sorry to hear that.
When was
Yeah,
that
to hear
announced,
that, mate.
Chris?
But no
When
one's
was that
going to
announced
do it
about
because no one's
Coca-Cola?
got them. No one wants to spend the money, so no one's going to do it. So.
Yeah.
When
So
was
Brian,
that announced, Chris?
But all we can do is keep raising the problem. Sorry, all we can do is just keep talking about it every time it happens.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Brian. I just saw it on Twitter yesterday, so I'm not sure if it was yesterday or the day before. But yeah,
Okay. Incoming tweet from me.
Yeah. But let's get on to the actual game at hand. So it is first versus third at this early stage. Here's the table.
I'll just call it a North London derby, will you, for God's sake?
I'll start with you, Steve, because I wanted to ask. I know you're not a huge fan of Arteta, and after last season, which
No shit.
You kind of threw the fourth away, and then we got it. I know we got 27 points out of 32. Or
yeah, I don't need a reminder, thanks.
But yeah, the start of this season, does he deserve any credit for how you've started? Because I'm surprised. I thought you'd struggle this season, but you've done anything but one defeat, which was Man United, and sitting top of the pile as things stand. Are you willing to give him more time? Are you surprised by how it's happened? Do you think he deserves credit? What are your thoughts on Arteta and the start he's made so far?
Well, last year it was Super Mick Arteta. He knows exactly what we need. Well, did anyone tell him that we're in Europa League, not the Champions League? And we're supposed to win the Champions League this season, apparently, to his prediction. Right? That's there you go. That solves that one straight out. Right? Oh, now he didn't really mean that. Well, why say it then? Right? So, yeah, he's done well. He's won Manager of the Month for August because he won all these games, which are.
I mean, Nuno did that, and then he was fired 2 months later.
Yeah. But let me look at these games that we played, right? And you tell me where we should be beating these teams. If we want top four, I'm going to literally name them all right now, right? So we've played. Our first game was against what? Palace. Palace should win that away.
But you did lose that last season, so that is an improvement. So there's an argument to say you were losing these games last season, which you haven't done this season.
Hang on, right? Leicester, look where Leicester are, right? Bournemouth, right? Away, right? I think they're going down. They're condemned, right? Arsenal, Fulham, right? We nearly fucked that one up. Villa, Arsenal, we nearly fucked that one up as well. Oh, and then we have our first test against Man United. And what's happened? Right, the guy who is an elite manager and who's got a shit squad, aka Ten Hag, beats the guy who's been in the job for 3 years, right? Spent 380 million and still can't get in the Champions League. Right? Yeah. I tell you, if we had Ten Hag and we spent 380 million, you wouldn't have had that last season. You would have been us comfortably in third, right? We would have been overtaking Chelsea, right? If we had an elite manager and spent that sort of money, right? We put on a 15-year-old kid in the last game because it's all about Mikel Arteta breaking the Premier League youngest player in the league award, right? Oh, yeah, Project Youth banged. Instead of everyone calling out what's the problem is, which is why have we got no squad? We've had 2-3 injuries and now all of a sudden we're playing 15-year-olds. Everyone's like, Project Youth banged. Arteta's promoting the youth. And I'm like, are you lot so blind to see what the problems are?
What needs to happen this season for you to change your mind on Arteta? Or is it too far gone now and there's no way back?
I've said already, he needs to get top 4 minimum. He needs to get the Champions League at minimum, right? Whether he wins the Europa League or he gets top 4, right? Then I'll do one thing. He needs to then piss off so we can then get an elite manager, because he will not win us a Premier League title.
No.
Right? Yeah. You're telling me these how deluded these super fans are, right? They're saying that Arteta has the minerals to beat Pep, Klopp, Conte, Ten Hag, Do you want me to keep going? Right? Tuchel when he was there, right? Potter, because I think Potter's better than him, right? You're telling me he's got the minerals to beat even 5 of those managers to get the Premier League title? If you're telling me that, I want to know what he's smoking.
Well, you are top of the pile at the moment, so he has beaten some of those managers. But
but have we gone past 10 games yet?
No. But Nick Collison
this
here.
Is what happens. We lose 2 games, we end up in 10th.
Yeah, Nick Collison here. I'm not sure this is the case. Stephen hates Arteta more than Daigle hates Levy.
Check my responses I've just put in there.
And then response, Grant, they put on a show for you. Wash your mouth out with soap and water.
To be fair, like Arteta, right? If he does well, I'll give him credit. I've always done that, right? But reason we lost against Man United, he waited too long for the subs, then put them all on at once, completely killed us, right?
Yeah,
completely killed us, right? I bet you, right, he will not make a substitution in this North London derby until we fuck up. I bet you it'll be 0-0. It'll be 0-0 to about the 70th minute. You'll go in fun, and then he'll decide to make substitutions.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. Arsenal fans, yourself anyway, are not confident about it. Spurs fans certainly aren't either. Simply as Arsenal will be too strong for us because we're poor defensively. Dyer, Davies, Emerson are not going to scare
Chris, anyone. You know me. I'd love to sit here and just say, no, we're going to win because it's Arsenal Spurs. That's just me being biased. If you want me to talk realistically on it, then I'll talk realistically. We've got Partey out. We've got El Neni out. We've got Odegaard saying Partey and Odegaard saying they're going to be fit. I don't think they're 100% match fit. Yeah. What happened the last time Partey wasn't 100% fit and he went into a North London derby? The guy was pushing him back on the pitch when he was injured.
Yeah, we'll come on to the game and the injuries and everything a bit later on. Brian, we're third, undefeated, one of the only 2 teams, only because the Man City game didn't happen.
Just the one thing as well, I wanted to respond with that. Hates Arteta more than the Levy thing. No, I hate Kroenke more. So Levy out, Kroenke out, Enoch out, whatever you want out.
Yeah, I mean, Brian, in terms of us undefeated, along with Man City, probably because that game in the Etihad was cancelled and postponed, but we're still undefeated. We've got Kane banging in goals now. Yeah, we've got Kane banging in goals now. But this, we've already been in, as Stephen mentioned there, with the results that they've had against teams that they should be beating. We've gone to Chelsea, where we never win or never get anything. Got a draw there. How is that? How we've already had that question. West Ham as well. I think it's a difficult game because we don't usually do well there. And Emirates, apart from that Kabul header in Harry Redknapp era, however long ago that was, we don't really do anything there either. So this is another big test for us. Do you think we're more equipped now than last season to cope with this big pressure of we don't do well here?
First of all, I wouldn't say it's just the Emirates. Highbury was pretty much the same as well in recent history before they moved where they did. There's no way it could. There's no way. Are we better equipped than last year? A Nuno squad, a Kane who was not happy, a team that did not back the manager, a team that did not trust the manager, a chairman that took 74 days to get the manager, only to sack him and get the manager that he couldn't get in the first place. The players that are there now, we are. I would honestly say, I've never been more confident going into a North London derby, and the reason is Antonio Conte. But like Ben said, and I've been saying this all week, if we play a 3 in midfield, because every time we go there, every single time we go there, they absolutely overrun us in midfield. They overload us and they batter us. I mean, I remember the last game against Nuno, we had a midfield of Højbjerg, and we had fuckabouts in Delhi and Dembele doing whatever they wanted. We had a one-man midfield. The season before, when it was under Mourinho and Lamela did his Rabona. Emil Smith-Rowe devastated us within the first 5 minutes. He tore us to pieces. And
You won't see that.
Yeah, I know we won't see that. What I'm talking about is in the past games. So this has happened over and over. Every time we go to the Emirates, every time we go there, overloading midfield, overloading midfield, overloading midfield, overloading midfield. And it's like, well, I don't know. Maybe match them in midfield. If we go with a 3, we win. If we go with a 2, just like Ben said, there'll only be one undefeated club, and that will be Manchester City. Because it happens. We just can't do it. I keep saying, with this game, you know that saying, don't play the match, don't play the occasion, play the match.
Yeah.
Every time we go to the Emirates, we play the occasion. And it's the fact, but for us, the fans, whether you're Arsenal or Spurs, the occasion is ours. The rivalry, the banter, it's our occasion. It's our occasion. It's their 9 to 5. Fuck the occasion. You get paid a obscene amount of money for what goes on that pitch. To do what you need to do on the pitch, forget the crowd, forget where we are, and do what you got to do. And if it's 3 in midfield, I'm more than confident. Play 2, I'm going to be like this at the Scotland Yard. I'm going to be like that.
But I'll tell you one thing. I bet you Conte will. The key thing is that, like you said, that midfield area, right? We've got Partey. We don't even guarantee he's going to 100% fit, so he's not going to be. No. He's going to be rusty, right? Because I know Arteta, right? I don't think I would play him. I wouldn't play him. I wouldn't play him. He's only just come back from injury, right? And you're not even sure if he's 100% fit, right? Or even like at that pace, right? So the only options we've got is Xhaka and Lokonga, right? Or Xhaka and Vieira.
What do you think of Xhaka? Because for me, I reckon I could get him sent off every game I played against him if I played.
Mate,
just wind him
if
up.
he doesn't feel like he wants, if he doesn't feel like he wants to do the game, don't worry, he'll fucking 2-foot Kane and get sent off. He did that. He did get against Man City, didn't it? We were 2-0 down already. You're like, oh fuck this, can't bother. You do it, guys. Right? Yeah. Newcastle, the game after we played you lot, right? Plays a shit performance and then comes in camera and blames every other fucker. Like, I mean, seriously, you're blaming everyone else. There are 4 players in that pitch who have been in that side, right? Less than you have in that first team, right? Because they've been in the academy and they've done more than what you've done throughout your whole career.
I mean, in terms of your injuries as well, I was watching Sky Sports News earlier. Zinchenko's a doubt, whether that's true or not. I don't know.
Zinchenko's a doubt.
Smith-Rowe isn't a doubt. He is out. A few injuries there. Do you think there'll be any tactical tweaks from you? Who do you think will come in for those? If all of those doubts
Arteta doesn't have tactical tweak.
Stranger things have happened. I had hair once, believe this or not. So
trust me, mate. You got more hope of me flying to Mars. Honestly, right? You got more chance of me like launching that NASA rocket to go and disjoint a frigging asteroid. Right? Honestly, like he'll play the same way with the same. He doesn't give a shit what team he plays or what 11 he picks. It's his way or no way, right? And this is the point. And this is the exact point, right? The one, if you, like I said, I'm coming on here to talk realistically. I'm not going to be biased this time, right? Conte will see that and play free. You can even get away with 2 in midfield. Trust me. You'll get away with 2 in midfield.
I'm not sure about that. We've been doing that quite a lot this season. We haven't been under pressure.
In midfield, you'll run us.
Yeah.
Because our midfield's not strong. Right? No. And what did we need in the summer? Right? We needed a midfielder.
Basuma, weren't you? And then we got him.
Everyone said we're getting, don't worry. We're getting Tillemans or Paqueta. Well, Paqueta's going to go on the West Ham, right? Tillemans is still at Leicester, right? I said when we bought Vieira, you watch, they won't buy another player because we got the Vieira in. like they did with Conga last season. It was like, no, stop being negative, right? We're gonna get Tillemans. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. Well, where are they? Oh, what? You as the song goes, Super Mick Arteta knows exactly what we need. Does he? Really? Does he? Do you want to phone him up and say we need a fucking midfielder? Like, because that's what we missed out last season. All he had to do was loan Ronaldo. That's all he had to do.
I think if you had got that Champions League, it would be very different now because we wouldn't have the pool. We'd have Conte and Kane there as a pool, but we wouldn't have the Champions League football.
Chris, if we had Ronaldo on loan, we would have been in Champions League this season.
Yeah.
Because the games we lost, right? We were outdone in midfield, right? Which was Southampton, the Palace game, and all that, right? Those 3 games we lost back to back.
Yeah, I think if you're in Champions League last this coming season, you'd have had Basuma and we wouldn't. But Brian,
I don't think so.
Well, it's difficult to say, isn't it? But that's just my opinion, and your opinion's obviously different. So no one's going to know. But yeah, and you know more about Arsenal's team than I do. But Brian, we'll come on to this slightly later. Simply Ace, how are you? Davies 100% out, so Lenglet will be starting.
Yeah,
he's replied with not confident for the Arsenal game, but it's this that I wanted to get to that he said earlier. We cannot start slow. I've been saying that for about 4 years. No one's listened to me so far. We do far too much, or we'll be beaten convincingly. Basuma must start in a 3-5-2. So do you think Basuma starting in a 3-5-2 has been helped and it's almost forced Conte's hand because this guy is potentially out? Kulusevski, who, if Son was still struggling, I'd be absolutely devastated about this, but Son is now back. That last part of the Leicester game.
Yeah.
I don't know who came off. It might have been Kulusevski, but he essentially played 3-5-2, Kane, Son up front, Basuma in the middle. We got a lot more control. We've kind of already talked about this, but it does say Kulu on there. It does say Kulu on there, so it is relevant. So in terms of our lineup, Lenglet is going to come in for Davies, most likely. You can't imagine it'll be Sanchez. But in terms of the midfield and the forwards, does Richarlison come in and it's 3 up top, or do you think it's a blessing in disguise if Kulu is out because then it forces Conte to change it to Basuma, Højbjerg, and who's the other? Bentancur?
It doesn't force him because he can play 2 of those and play Richarlison, Son, and Kane. I want Richarlison 100%. I've been saying this all week. That actually, before I talk about Richarlison, for me, 3-5-2 is imperative. We heard Conte saying that we heard him openly say Basuma's not getting the styles of play and he's got to work on his defensive work.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to work out if he meant that to be in a midfield 2 and rotate with them, or it was to be in a midfield 3, like what we saw against Leicester. And at Leicester, he was like, right, I think you've got it. I'm going to let you go at home and see what you're made of. And obviously, if it was for the 3-5-2, he's now got it. When it comes to, and you've got to remember, what he did to us against Brighton and what he's done when he's gone to Arsenal and many other teams is the danger man. He silences them. If you can silence Harry Kane, you're damn good, especially the form he was in going into that game.
The other thing about him as well, very quickly, is I can't remember exactly the game, but he pointed at some Arsenal players who were on the floor, laughing. Yeah. So he's obviously, you'd think, got the motivation if he plays to do well in this.
There you go. And the thing with it as well, the thing I'm getting onto is that when I was saying about Richarlison is, even if Son hadn't got that hat-trick against Leicester, even if Son hadn't scored the goals for career, if we ever go 3-5-2, the starting 2, I don't care what form they're in, should always be Son and Kane. Especially in this game. Kane's record in derbies, period, let alone North London derbies.
We'll come on to him a bit later. I love the graphic for that.
Son does it at Arsenal, but the thing I want to do with Richarlison is let the first half go and do what it does, and then come 60 minutes or so, when there's a couple of Arsenal players in defence on a yellow card, off you go, Richarlison. Off you go. Do what you do. Yeah. Do what you do. Wind them the fuck up. Guarantee if there's an Arsenal defender on a yellow card and Richarlison comes on, guarantee his main mission is to get that guy sent off.
Yeah.
And if
it won't be a defender. It'll be Granit Xhaka because he knows he is his target.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying Steve, if there's an Arsenal player, a defender, and then there's Son, Kane, and Richarlison on, if there is a fullback because he likes running the channels on it, he will go everywhere. You got to remember, Richarlison don't stop running everywhere. He's one of those players that you hate when he's playing against you, but you love him when he's on. Everton fans will really.
I saw the difference he made in the Chelsea game. The freedom he gave.
Mate, in every game he's come on, even the game that he Fulham when he started and he had a goal disallowed.
He stretches it, doesn't he? He stretches the midfield and the attack by making
midfields
runs.
and defences. So he gives Son and Kane because he gives them defence because he's giving defence the opposition defence more to think about and tracking his runs. They're now not tracking Son and Kane and that creates more space for them to be able to fulfil their roles.
Yeah, I mean, Brian, with your comment there, is there a danger it could backfire if we do that? That I think Richarlison's fairly easy to wind up as well.
That's why you don't start him. That's exactly why.
But in terms of that from 60 minutes, is there a danger that they could?
Well, there's a danger if he gets the yellow card. You've got to remember he's got a yellow card for Tottenham already and hasn't reacted. He may with all the racism that we were talking about earlier, he may be a bit of a live wire right now. He may take out his frustration, but I think it's if you look at it, saying what's the chances of an Arsenal player that's on a yellow card, Richarlison getting him sent off, to Richarlison coming on as a sub and getting sent off? I back Richarlison getting the person sent off rather than him getting 2 yellows or a straight red.
I also think Conte will probably get into him to just make sure to keep it calm.
Yeah, mate. Listen, you can say that. I don't know if you've seen that famous interview with Mourinho when he was managing Inter Milan and Mario Balotelli, and they're playing a Champions League game away at someone, and he'd picked up a yellow card in the first half, and he went into the dressing room, and Mourinho said, "Out of the 15 minutes, I spent 14 minutes of it saying, Mario, please don't get booked, don't race to the bait,
don't do something stupid,
don't come back and defend, don't come back and if someone winds you up or tackles you, get up, walk away. If someone tries to don't react, please, Mario, I've got no strikers on the bench, I've got injuries." 1 minute into the second half, bang, he clashes into someone, yellow card. It's very, very easy for someone to have a word, but in the heat of the moment, it doesn't matter. You can't
certainly with a hot head as well.
Yeah, exactly. You can't take it back. Look at what happened with David Beckham and Wayne Rooney in World Cups for England. They lose their heads in that split moment. It doesn't matter what anyone says. To
be fair, with Wayne Rooney, that was more Ronaldo getting him sent.
Yeah, no, of course, but that's the thing.
It was naivety from Rooney as
exactly.
well.
Ronaldo lured him in, or whoever it was, and he took the bait. You don't think people? You don't think Spurs players will be doing that to Arsenal, and Arsenal players doing that to Tottenham? Of course they are.
Not Derby going to be taking lumps out of each other.
Exactly.
In terms of Arsenal players doing it to Tottenham, Steve, do you think there'll be a target on Romero's back? He's another one of our hot. Although I have seen in interviews he said something about, I'm paraphrasing here, he's trying to work on that game and not go 2 balls out and silly. But do you think you'll target him to try and get him a booking in the same way that you can only imagine we'll target Xhaka?
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, but I don't think Arteta is probably even astute to think that. It's just.
But would some of the players take it on? Certainly, like the Saka, the Jesus.
Because you got to admit
their experience to go. Let's get him sent off.
Because you got to admit still that Saka and Martinelli, they're young. They're still very young, right? So. That as much as you've got experience, they ain't got much experience. Right, 1920 season, that was their first season. And how long ago was that? That was what
2 years ago,
and 3 years ago. So they haven't had much experience at all. So
what about Jesus? He's experienced, although
Jesus,
he'll probably be up against Dyer in the centre rather
Jesus
than
will want to
someone
cause problems. He'll want to try and cause problems but he's not one of them players like a Richarlison, if you know what I mean. He's not one of those players that are just awful to play against. He's just, the reason he's awful to play against is just that he doesn't stop moving. His movement's like so much better. If you watch Nketiah, I don't know what these Arsenal fans are thinking, right? Over 100 grand a week with the number 14 shirt, and you're saying that Nketiah is good, right? Well, the last time he came on, which I remember he played against Fulham, he came on for 15 minutes, 5 clear chances. They were so clear, I could have been attached to my infusion pump and still smacked it in. And they were so easy to put away, and he couldn't bury one of them. Half of them weren't even on target.
Yeah. Well, what a game in terms of Arsenal, anyway.
Whether
what a game to come good in a game.
But Jesus has got the natural ability to create the space, and Nketiah ain't. He's a poacher.
Yeah.
He's one of them. He'll get on the end of something. The problem is he'll need about 20 attempts to score 1 goal.
Well, we generally give about 20 attempts. We might get lucky in this one if the rest of the season's to go by. But someone, Brian, who doesn't generally need many attempts to score goals, certainly in this fixture, Harry Kane. Can't have a Spurs stream without Harry Kane. This is, it's bigger than this number. This is just Premier League North London derbies. In terms of actual North London derbies, I think he's on about 13 goals. He's banging form. You saw the penalty that he scored against Germany. Cracking penalty. I don't think he's ever a player, certainly since he burst on the scene, that's ever had like a crisis of confidence in his own ability. But now he's got Son back, so the assist could even be up there as well. And just Harry Kane, do you back him to score in this game? Have a say in how things pan out?
If there's ever an answer where the words that come out of my mouth hold, and that's that big sip. So answer your question, 100%. You tell me a North London derby, apart from unfortunately the last one at the Emirates, where obviously the whole Nuno and transfer request was on. You tell me a game where a North London derby where Harry Kane has not had any influence, an assist or a goal, you won't find one.
1991, he didn't do much. Oh, when he was alive, you mean? Sorry, I do apologise.
You probably just sit there at the Emirates the season before that.
When we went with the Lamella Rabona.
Yeah.
He still had a large shot. We didn't win the game. He was still pivotal to what we were doing.
It was the only outlet you had.
There you go. And that was in the season with Son and Kane.
But in the end, our defence managed to nullify him for most of the game.
Okay, so that's okay. So we'll make it 2 games out of what is this? His 8th season. So 16 North London derbies. He may have been quiet in 2 of them. Fuck me, there. He's way out of order. How dare he? How dare he not perform or score in 2 of them? Listen, this guy. You got to remember, this guy, when he came back, there was a game he came back when there's the season we finished 2nd in the league, where he came back from injury, penalty, scored, first North London derby ever as a teenager, 2 goals. I mean, you can't, it's Roy the Rover stuff, this kid, in that game. This man scores goals in London derbies, let alone North London derbies. And now, like you said, there may be the talk about his contract, and we'd like with Conte. We're taking that all off the table right now. This is about this game. If there's a game where you need to say, will Harry Kane turn up? Without a shadow of a doubt. And this is the thing. What you got to remember, this is why it becomes so pivotal and important that we play 3 in the midfield. Because he doesn't get the ball and can't do what he does when we play in a 2, because the midfield just swamp us and it's like long balls and feed off scraps. If we play the 3, not only does it overload or maybe match Arsenal up, but then it gives the freedom for those 2 up top. Because when we play 2, that defence ain't got to worry because they know the midfield will swamp it and the extra man will cut off the supply. If we marry them up, and if there is no person who's allegedly done something, and he does play, he could be the problem because he does add that bit of steel. If he's not there, then I don't see it. I honestly think if we go 3 and Arsenal go 3, the midfield 3 we have and the form that Pierre and Bentancur have been in and what Basuma showed against Leicester, I don't think apart from Man City or Liverpool, anyone will be able to handle that 3 in the middle.
No,
I really don't.
Certainly in this game, it's about North London derbies or derbies in general. I've always said it's about who wants it more, and that's where it's generally won.
Play the match, not the occasion.
If Harry Kane was dead set about leaving now, he'd still turn up, I think, in this game because he's a Spurs fan and he wants to win this game. Yeah, on Richarlison, simply ace. If we're winning the game and it's close to the end, I can see Richarlison doing the keepy uppies, laying on his backside, time wasting. I mean, that would get someone sent off. Xhaka would come and boot him in the backside, I think. But Steve, Kane, how do you stop him? You did it last season at the Emirates, obviously a different Spurs team then. How do you stop him this season? Certainly now that he's doing his thing that he's been doing a couple of seasons and dropping deep and very difficult to pick him up there. The defender can't go with him because he's dropping into midfield. It then requires communication with the midfield. Okay, now you pick him up. Unless, of course, you've got a player like who can do what Basuma did when we played Brighton last year. But yeah, how'd you stop him?
Simple. Put Saliba on him. See if he can.
He's played well this season, isn't he, Saliba?
Saliba's solid as a rock. Absolutely solid.
Yeah. Do you think that will happen? Because obviously you say Arteta doesn't change things. That would require Saliba
if he wants to win this game, he's got to.
But do you think he will? Because it requires Saliba not playing in his position, but changing positions following Kane.
I don't know how that man thinks, honestly.
Let me just add to that. That obviously Saliba has been incredible. Saliba, don't get me wrong, he's scoring goals. He looks the real deal. This is the big first real test. Yes, he's done very, very well. This is his very first North London derby. And like you said, form and everything for both teams go completely out the goddamn window. This is a huge, huge game. I know he's been on loan in France and played in derbies in France, but with all due respect to the derbies in France, it's not even a patch on what goes on here. Now,
I think he already knows. He already knows what this
Saliba has been a very, very, to me so far, he's been one of the defenders of the season so far, as it stands. Especially coming out of nowhere, like he's been on loan, and it was like they didn't want him. He has been very, very good. There's no getting away with it. But has he had to play a front line of the quality of Son and Kane, who know each other, don't even need to look at each other? They know where they are. This is a very, very, very big test for him. He has the potential to come out shining just as much as he has the potential to come out like, holy fuck, what has just happened here? But he's a very good player. He's learned from his loan. He's come back. He's been a very welcome addition to Arsenal, unfortunately. And these games are the games that count. These are the games where you stand up and get tested. Not against Bournemouth, not against Fulham.
Yeah.
This is the game. This is the marker. This is. You have a good game, you go down as a hero. You have a bad game, people will start questioning you.
Do you think Conte and Son, Kane, whoever, will target him? Like he's been good against those lesser teams, like you say. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what the guy's got here.
I think they'll target Gabriel or whoever's playing alongside him because they know, as we saw last season, they can get the better of them. If Saliba gets off to a shaky start, they may say, right, two-pronged bang. But I have a feeling they may go and try a player that they know they can unsettle and a player they've done it before with, rather than risk focusing on a player that's bang on form at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, talking of a player bang on form, Steve, we were interested in him. You got him. Jesus scored goals after goals for Arsenal so far this season. So who would be your threats? I've put Odegaard there, although you've said he's possibly injured, so he may not be. But Jesus, Zinchenko would be a threat, whether he's playing or not. I don't know. But Saka, I think Saka's a quality player. Who would be your threats for Arsenal? Jesus, obviously. Who would be the other ones?
For Arsenal, Jesus obviously is is obviously going to be number one with his movement. His movement's so much better than Nketiah's. So that's why if we lose Jesus, we'll have no attack whatsoever. I don't give a monkey's what these bloody people were saying. Like, oh, Nketiah, like, he's like, he doesn't deserve his contract. He doesn't deserve the shirt. Like, it should be sold. Like, we should have been getting 2 strikers, not just the one. But there you go. But apparently, Super Mick Arteta knows exactly what we need. So there you go. And the reason I keep saying that is because we're in the Europa League, not the Champions League. Right? Everyone was, even I was bloody confident last season. Right? And I'm Arteta up, for God's sake. Like,
in terms of the game.
In terms of the game, Martinelli is definitely going to be one to look out for. He's
it's worth pointing out that 3-0 game at White Hart Lane or Tottenham, whatever it is, last season, he actually played quite well in that first 10 minutes. He got at Emerson, got at Sanchez, and then
that's what he does. He does
10 minutes. He was quite good.
And he scored. The one thing you'll get at Martinelli is that he is absolutely non-stop, like a pest. He is a pest to any fullback. Right, and that's in a complimentary way, because it's what you want in a winger, right? Cutting inside, coming outside, right? Trying to drill crosses low, high, right?
Composure as well. His goal against Man United, even though it was offside, wonderful finish.
Oh, it's
just slightly offside.
Remember his goal before he was dropped by Arteta for no goddamn reason against Chelsea. Right before the pandemic hit, right, ran all the way down the length of the pitch at Stamford Bridge and put it in the back of the net. So he's got the composure, he's got it there in abundance. Saka obviously again is a danger man as well, but the problem with Saka is he needs to sort his finishing. His finishing, like cutting inside. He does that quite often, and sometimes you more want him to run down the wings. But the problem is when he's going down the wings, he's not getting the support that he should be getting from Ben White or Ben Shite, sorry, right? Or Tommy Asu. Here's the thing: we got Tommy Asu and Cedric as our right backs, right? Everyone said we needed to spend like Ben. Anyone that says Ben White's good, right? So we spent 50 million on a piece on a player who ended up getting our defense to concede 7 more goals than it did the previous season, right? And then if you're saying it was absolutely essential, we still needed him, right? Why are we now playing him at right back if he's a centre back, right? Because now everyone's saying that, oh, yeah, he does really well as a right back. Yeah, but last season, you weren't calling for it last season when we were in trouble. You were calling him to be in the centre. Now, all of a sudden, he needs to be on the right. This is the utter delusion these fans think of. Right? Yeah. How is it we spent £50 million on a centre-back and we're now using him as a right-back? Why don't we just save the 50 mil and just spend it on a right-back?
Well, other teams do that, I would have thought. I mean, we've done it in the past. But
it makes sense, doesn't it?
Well, possibly. But, yeah, Simply A says we'll get back to this in a little bit late with our defence, weak link for Spurs, Emerson and Dyer. But Brian, danger men for Spurs, Son. We'll come on to him a bit later, and Arsenal will be Saka. But their front 3 Arsenals, they can cause us damage. Odegaard, if he plays in the middle, he's got a pass in him.
Vieira, though, as much as he's done well in his first game against Brentford, as well as his first game in Zurich, I still want to see more from him before I get a judgment. But he needs to keep doing. If he continues on what he was doing from the last game, he'll be another threat as well.
Yeah, I mean,
but it depends where he plays him. It depends where he wants to play him next to Xhaka, which might be an idea to do because the Conga is still very young. This is a North London derby. And what I really worry about is that if Lokonga doesn't play well, people are going to be targeting him straight away, right? Which is not fair because he's 20. If we lose because Lokonga's losing midfield because Lokonga's just not good enough at the minute because he's only a youngster, I'm not having a go at him. I'm having a go at Arteta because he should have brought the midfielder to cover it, right? But no, they'll blame. This is the great thing with our fans. They blame everyone else but the manager.
You get that with every team. You know, the goal that Fulham scored against us, Romero didn't challenge Mitrovic, and Dyer gets blamed for it. If it was the other way around, Dyer would be getting pelters for it. Every club has their scapegoats. It's not just Arsenal, not just Tottenham. Every single club will have their scapegoats.
The thing is, the guy shouldn't be like being pressed into it at such a young age, and he's only like he's not even hardly any game time last season. So this is effectively his still his first season, like in first team football in the Premier League, right? And you ask him to play a North London derby because most of our squad's out, right? That's why I said if he does a bad result, trust me, I'm all over Arteta's arse over that one because he should have been out there getting the midfielder we needed.
Yeah, I disagree with that because parallels last season. Oliver Skip only was 19 when he started, no Premier League experience. Came in against Man City first 50 minutes,
but
quite
Chris,
dubious.
Can you see the point is that he needed?
I can see the point.
We needed the midfielder. If we had the midfielder, we wouldn't had to have played such a young player in a big game.
But the other point is we put Skip in when he was untested. He's come out flying colours. How do you know if the guy's ready or not ready by giving him a chance? I understand the point that you could get a better midfielder in, but if that's not possible for whatever reason, no Champions League, the manager doesn't know what he's doing, the money isn't there. So you've got to give these players a chance, I feel. We did that with Skip. It's worked out. We've done it with plenty of others as well. Hasn't worked out.
Hang on. How many minutes Skip get before he went into a derby?
I have no idea, but his first game was Man City, who had just won the league, so not an easy game.
Yeah, I mean, like I still say with Lokonga, half of them were thinking he was going to go out on loan. Right? He's still very, very young and very new to this league.
Yeah. I understand your
point.
Fair.
It's not fair to shove him in a game like this.
No, I agree with that possibly, but I don't know why Skip played against Man City, whether we didn't have any midfielders or he just gave him a chance. But Brian, in terms of Arsenal's attack and players, danger men for you.
So first of all, in relation to Ollie Skip got the go-ahead because Pochettino said there is a player here. Mourinho said there is a future Tottenham captain here, and sent him on loan, and he was Championship Player of the Year by a country goddamn mile. And he was brilliant for us last season until he got injured. So even though Mourinho doesn't believe in youth, as we know, he had one of the great things he did was send Skippy out on loan because he saw potential and did what he did. Arsenal's danger men. You got to look at excuse me. You got to look at Jesus. Thank you. You got to look at Jesus. I mean, when I came over to London for Ben's wedding, I wanted Jesus over Richarlison.
Yeah, but I was the same.
But after spending time with my brother Bob Spur and spending the time I was in London covering Ben whilst he was on his honeymoon, and having Simeon brainwash me. Literally, I joined the cult. I've got the Simeon brainwash me card. Richarlison worked out better, was the player we needed, and Jesus was the player Arsenal needed. There was no doubt in Jesus' quality. I didn't expect him to suit like he has. But if you remember at Man City, he started off like a trainer, like a speeding train, and then there were lulls. What I will say is, with Arsenal this season, they played a different brand of football than they used to play under Wenger. It's a lot more free flowing. It's a lot more, and it suits Jesus. It helps suits Zinchenko. He is a danger. He is a danger. There's games we've had this season. I would say Fulham with Mitrovic, and probably this game going into the North London derby, where there is a striker we really, really have to be concerned about. Concerned about Southampton? No. Concerned about West Ham, Forest, Wolves? No.
Yeah, we've given a lot of chances away, haven't we? Certainly Chelsea. If they'd have had Aubameyang then, we'd have lost that game.
Yeah, this is what it comes down to. It comes down to how switched on our defence is, because he roams, and it's whether one of our defenders get lured into going out wide and creating space for oncoming. He is a very, very big concern. A very big concern. And again, it's another reason why we need to make sure we have three in midfield to stop the supply getting to him. I'm sure there's, I mean, listen, I don't pay fully attention to Arsenal about like we do, but he is a big, big problem, and we have to nullify him.
Yeah, I think so too. One of Arsenal's big problems in this will be the return of this man's son. Isn't it wonderful to see that picture again after so many games where he looks stressed? But I mean, Steve, back in the goals against Leicester with a hat-trick in 13 minutes, scores a goal for a career in open play and then a free kick as well. As this comes, Son scoring goals at just the worst time for Arsenal, because he's going to be bang in confidence now. If he was still struggling, it would be a huge game. He's got that off his back now. He can now relax and play the Son Heung-min way. How worried are you about him?
Well, he's always going to be a worry. He's always a pain in the ass when it comes to the North London derby.
Wonderful.
Can't stand the sight of him. But yeah, but look, the guy's a talent, and yeah, you gotta give it to him. And again, it's another problem that Saliba and Son. Is he gonna play down the left?
I'm not sure. If we play 3-5-2, I reckon he can play up front on his own.
I'll play him on the left, mate.
I think if we play 3-5-2, Kane, he'll be up front and Kane will go wherever Kane chooses to go. If we play 3 up front, he's usually on the left, our left.
Play 3 at the front. Because I'm telling you now, Arteta will not pick Tomiyasu. He will pick Ben White. Right? And he is going to have Ben White shoved so far down in his pocket, the pocket's going to be down at his feet. Right?
Any chance Holding will be playing again, do you think? Or do you think that's sailed? In what happened?
Apparently you can't say anything against Rob Holding. Apparently he's got this freaking last time I tried to have a go about Rob Holding because someone decided to put a picture of him, Saliba, Ben White and Gabriel and said we got the best Premier League centre back depth in the league. And no one can tell me otherwise. And I went, that comment is stupid and dumb. Compared to last season. Where are you getting that from? Because he's apparently a Rob Holding advocate on his Twitter page. Yeah, apparently for saying that you get homophobic abuse for that.
Really? No, that's ridiculous.
I know it's ridiculous. But calling stupid and dumb apparently is offensive. But there you go. Maybe he needs to go cry to his mum. If you play him on the left, Ben White's going to have more strings on, and with Holding, it's only if Gabriel and Saliba are injured.
Yeah.
And even then, I would say they'll move Ben White into the centre, and they'll bring Tomiyasu on the right. So it would have to be both Ben White and Gabriel that are injured. Rob Holding, I'm sorry, I don't forgive him after what happened last time.
No,
Right.
I think Son completely played him in that, and he fell for it.
No, but here's the thing: everyone, like forgets it. Everyone forgets it over the summer. Everyone forgets what these players do, right?
Yeah, I mean,
it's a bit like how Granit Xhaka is now our vice captain, right? He was our captain when he threw our captain's armband on the floor, threw our shirt on the floor and our badge on the floor, right, and told us all to fuck off, right? And then 2 years later down the line, after being begged to stay by this manager twice because this manager ain't got anyone better, because he can't think of buying a better player, right? Because he thinks apparently Granit Xhaka is the be-all and end-all of defensive midfielders, right? He's now a vice-captain again. That is Mikel Arteta in a nutshell. Spineless.
Yeah, I mean, Brian, Simply Ace has said he wants Kulusevski to start if he's not injured. Nick has said he's injured, which is what I believed as well. He offers creativity and can play behind Kane and Son, so you could still have your 3-5-2 there. That I'm not sure who makes way for that, but yeah, Son. I mean, he's back to golden boot, Son, rather than what's up, Son. He almost as soon as that first goal went in, that celebration, just no reaction. It was almost as though all of the relief and stress just went away. And as soon as he controlled that ball with his right foot, you knew it was going in for the second goal. And then it's amazing, isn't it, how your luck changes when it's in. A month ago, that third goal would have hit the goalkeeper, gone out for a throw, corner, or whatever. Hits the goalkeeper's backside, goes in the bottom corner, and then the offside isn't given. And then you've seen what he's done with the career as well. It's almost like a brand new lease on life, and we've in one 13-minute spell, we've got the Golden Boot winner back. So he'll be desperate to score in this as well. He'll have so much motivation, I think, not just because of a slow start to the season, but it's Arsenal. I mean, would you make of him after that 30-minute? Well, it wasn't a 30-minute cameo. He played a lot longer than that 13-minute cameo against Leicester and what he did for career in this international range.
So first of all, let me just talk about Kulusevski. Teams have been saying to him there, but what I really wanted to see if he was fit is him at right wing back. You remember when we signed him, people said it doesn't look like it, according to We Are Tottenham TV, who have a very reliable source. It doesn't look like he's going to feature. If he played at a right wing back, when there's three in midfield, should he be up front trying to create, and he can't get back in time, there's that extra midfielder to cover his position. I'm not saying that's where I want to see Kulusevski. I want to see where he has been playing for Tottenham, because he's devastating there. But Jens doesn't get a look in. We know that, and it's going to take him time. Emerson, well, we know about Emerson. Mora's injured. Doherty isn't ready or isn't trusted yet to recover from this injury, but is playing for Ireland. Kulusevski will be wonderful at 10. I think he'll be wonderful at a right wing back in the back with a midfield three, but he's most devastating playing where he is. Now, getting on to Son. The most important thing to say about Son before I speak about Leicester is Mazel Tov, thank you, Conte. He came out and said Kane, Son, and Dyer are now on free kicks. Whether he takes whether he gets to take them is another thing. It's all well and good saying, yeah, you're going to be on free kicks. It's whether he actually gets to take one. Because look, let's face it, you see what he's doing for career with free kicks, and the free kicks he's scoring are literally on the edge of the area where it's the hardest technique to get up, over, down, get the dip, whatever. And he's scoring regularly, and I think we all know, as much as we all love Harry Kane, and he's devastating and one of the best in the world, if not the, of what he does, he is absolutely abysmal at free kicks. And after that 13-minute appearance, listen, one thing happened. I was one of the people that said I wanted Son to be whatever buzzword you want to use: dropped, rested, rotated.
It works, whatever context,
whatever buzzword you want to use, because and mate, you should see when I said this on We Are Tottenham TV, the abuse I got in the YouTube comments for being racist, for being a Sonny hater. I was like, no, I'm not a Sonny hater. I'm a Sonny lover. But the way we keep him fresh and fit all season is rotation. That's how the big boys win their title. Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool. What do? Rotate. Are their players normally fit for the big occasion? Yes.
Yeah.
And the main reason I wanted him to be whatever the buzzword you want to use is he'd started every single game, and every single game at the end, all the fan channels and all the media were like, "Oh, don't worry, he'll come good on the next game." Didn't happen. He'll come good on the next game. Didn't happen. He'll come, and the heat just kept building. I was like, why have him start against Leicester and then maybe come off with the same thing when you can have him on the bench when Leicester are tiring, Leicester are in an awful state at the moment. Come on, score a goal, let alone three, and let alone two of them being absolute stunners. And he goes off the pitch with that smile, with that, change the narrative. Sonny's back. Not where's Sonny gone? Sonny is back. And we all know Sonny, throughout his history at Spurs, once he scored one,
the floodgates open. It's exactly the same with Kane, exactly the same with Son. Liverpool is the same with Salah.
Exactly.
The floodgates never turned off for Haaland, but you get
Jesus Christ. He's back, and now we see Sonny with a smile, Sonny with no pressure, Sonny with no stress, Sonny able to go and do what he needs to do. And like I said, when it comes to motivation for this match, said it before, listen, unfortunately, we've had Arsenal win the Premier League on our own patch. We had them sing black and white when you won the league, blah, 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 blah. And it's all about those little things. Now, this is so minor, so minor with what I'm going to say. But can you imagine the team talk and saying to the Spurs players, listen, it's only going to be the 8th game, but we are on Arsenal territory, enemy territory. They are top of the league. And if we beat them, we knock them off top spot and go above them. It may be for a few hours till Man City play. But if I was a Spurs player, regardless of me being a Spurs fan, and I said, you know what, this is enemy territory, they're above us, and we can, on their own doorstep, say, top of the league, and have the beauty of knocking them off, that'd be a fire up. That'd be a fucking rocket up my arse. I wouldn't need to wait till half time to get that rocket up my arse.
I don't think many players will need it. Kane will be saying that. Son, I think, will be saying that. Højbjerg, like him or not. Dyer, I think, will be saying that. Perisic, definitely.
Saying and doing is different. And as we see with all these first half performances, they've not been good. Conte's fired a rocket up their arse, and we've seen an improvement in the second half.
Yeah. I thought
we can't do that here.
Yeah, I thought Fulham was good. Barring the penalty nonsense, I thought Leicester was good. Southampton obviously was good. Simply Ace. Conte mentioned in the Arsenal press conference about if you play in all the games, you'll win nothing, which is why rotation is important.
Boom.
Absolutely. But something about Son that you said, I think hits a nail on the head is Son with no pressure. I think he said, didn't he, afterwards, I feel like I've let the team down, players down, staff down, the fans down. And you could almost see that he was upset about it. Now it's that celebration, all that belief has gone. And I think we'll see the Son that football expects to see from now on. In terms of the defence, it was mentioned in the comment, I'm not sure who said it, Simply Ace maybe, saying if Sanchez plays, I'm going to lose my marbles. I don't think he will. I think it'll probably be Lenglet because Davies is out. Dyer and Romero. Wing-backs. I wanted Spence to start against Leicester. For me, Leicester are in all sorts of trouble. Perfect game to start Spence. Same with Basuma. You don't know the system or whatever. Perfect game at home. Try and start that out. Didn't happen, obviously. Basuma came on. Spence, I think it's a real risk to start him in this one. It'll probably be Emerson. I know you said about Kulusevski, but I think he's probably injured. Left. Sessegnon, Perisic. Probably Perisic for me, just because of his experience and know-how in these situations. So who would be your wing-backs?
So, no, do you know what? I did say Perisic to begin with until yesterday. I was Perisic left wing-back. And it'll probably be Emerson right wing back. But yesterday I was watching, or I caught a bit of Still on We Are Tottenham TV, and he said something that's very, very. It struck a chord, and it was like, if, and we know about these mind games and players, they're saying they're injured, and then if Zinchenko is injured, if Tierney is injured, they're going to have to put, as they were saying, a makeshift player in that left wing back or right left wing back slot. And if there's a makeshift player in that left wing back slot, immediately I put Perisic on the right, because Perisic will literally go, right, here you go.
Even though he played on the right against Leicester, and he wasn't that good, in my opinion.
He wasn't that good because that was his first time there. Listen, this guy, let's face it, all players can have a bad game. Look, we're just talking about Sonny. But if Perisic is going 1-for-1 in a wing-back battle on that side, and it's not an established or recognised left wing-back, and you put a raring to go Perisic, who, let's face it, has been there, seen it, done it, got the T-shirt, won everything. He potentially could have Leicester have tried to play disciplined and organised. A player that doesn't play in that position is a weakness. And when you have a world-class, and I do mean world-class fullback or wing-back in Perisic, he could destroy it. He could absolutely, like if we had we didn't have any wing backs and we put someone at Sanchez at wing back, Arsenal will go, right, there you go. Just absolutely
bombard.
Everything's coming down this side. Everything is coming down this side. So if it's not a recognised player, whether it be a centre defender they move back or a Xhaka that they put there, Perisic will kill him. Will kill them.
So that would be your pick for wing backs. Perisic on the right if it's not a makeshift. If it's a makeshift left one, and Sessegnon on left.
But if it's not, it'll be Perisic and it will be Emerson.
Yeah. I think Emerson might... I worry about Emerson if Kulusevski isn't playing, because that's one of the reasons I think Perisic could play that wing back. Obviously, you lose a little bit of something, but he has that appreciation of what the wing back needs in terms of the support. So he obviously, I think, can transition into there. And Conte said he could play there, didn't he? But
well, again, that's why you got three midfielders, mate. Because if he is caught, then you got an extra midfielder that can just go right.
Yeah,
I need to drift out here, and you don't lose your shape.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. We have got options. Which is good, certainly compared to last season. But, Steve, last thing, kind of before
I'll be back in 2.
Yeah, last thing before we kind of head off. How do you think the game will pan out? And what are your predictions? Do you think it'll be an end-to-end, full gung-ho game? Do you think it'll be two teams testing each other out, testing the waters early on, see how they get to 60 minutes, and then see if you can nick a winner? And what are your predictions for the game?
First goal, I think, will be key. I think it will be tight if we scored first. I'll worry if you score first, though.
So if you score first, you think you'll kind of sit back a little bit, soak up the pressure, invite us on and try and counter?
Probably. If you score first, then I do worry. About it. But yeah, I feel there will be goals in it. But I did say in my early predictions there will be a goal. It will probably end up in a high-scoring game. Because I'm sure there's going to be mistakes from both teams. I'm going to go 3-2 Arsenal.
Yeah, Simply Ace has gone 3-1 to Arsenal. Hope to have egg on my face. I hope you have a whole pack on your face as well. I can't take, we're undefeated. Our first defeat is against you lot. I can't take that. But I can't give a score prediction even on my own. I'm a coward. It's too much tempting fate. But I think I say this for every prediction. It could be anything. It could be a home win, away win, a draw. But I think it'll be interesting the first 20 minutes. Our job is to shut the home fans up, whether that be just shut up the singing or give them something to worry about. So my hope is that we start off quick, not gung-ho quick, but you're in for a game here, Arsenal. You're in for a game here.
Yeah,
Arsenal.
I think you won't. I don't think you have a slow start.
No, if we sit back like we have done, certainly against like Forest, for example, and you get your backs up, the fans get up. Jesus has a couple of chances, Saka, Martinelli, whoever. I think we could be in for a long afternoon playing on that counter-attack and that negative kind of way. I think we need to be proactive and try and make things happen rather than just playing on the counter-attack. But yeah, I can see it being a score. I don't think it'll be 0-0. I don't think either team will keep a clean sheet. I can see it being 2-1 to someone, and then it equally being then 2-2, excuse me, at the end, or 2-1 to someone, the other team going for it and then getting picked off. But I'll go for a Spurs win. I have to. I can't say not to a Spurs win. But Brian, how will the game pan out for you? Gung-ho from both teams from the start, both teams feeling each other out, and what were your predictions for the game?
Yeah, as I said, I mean, if it's 3 in the midfield, I'm confident. If it's big up simply. If we go 2, I'm worried. I will be worried, and not only will I be worried, because if we do go 2 in midfield, like we saw against Leicester, we have the potential to flex to change it up to the 3-5-2. But what we did at Leicester, it was 2-2. The game was there to be won.
Yeah, and let's not forget as well, when they scored, that came after about three good chances from them that Laurie saved. The fourth one, Madison puts in. So the game changed with Son being crazy, but it wasn't even fairly game, a fairly even game before then. It wasn't 6-2 hammering than it looked.
If we go 2 in the midfield at the start, and we don't start well, and it's the same old what normally happens there, and we don't chase that 3-5-2 quick enough, we can be chasing our tails.
Yeah.
And it would damage limitation and too late to do anything. So I am concerned if we play 2 in the middle. If we play 3 in the midfield, I think we win this 3-1 or 3-2. If we go 2 in the middle, I fear, I can't say we're going to lose. I can never say we're going to lose this game. I fear a draw at best. Let's put it that way. If we go 2 in the middle.
Yeah. I think the fact that Conte has been talking about 3 in the middle suggests that he's coming around to the idea of that. And I just wonder if kind of Kulusevski being injured, which is what's being reported, has kind of forced his hand in that way, in the sense that where he's injured, I can go for 3 in the middle and not upset too many people that way. But yeah, Basuma definitely did himself no harm with his cameo against Leicester. But I mean, everyone loves a North London derby until the game kicks off, and then everyone's terrified by North London derby. So we'll see how it goes. But it's a huge game, not as huge as that North London derby at the end of last season, because obviously that was a kind of playoff for 4th. But this is a big statement game, I feel. Arsenal can make a big statement. We're top of the league, but like Steve said, we haven't really played anyone of note. The only team of note we lost. Big statement of the biggest game of the season. And we're a different team, Tottenham team, by all reports, a tougher, stronger team, a real statement to go to the Emirates after going to Stamford Bridge and West Ham without defeat. And then if we can win that, that's a big old statement as well. So it's a huge amount to play for. I just hope I cannot take. We're the only undefeated team in the little one of the only 2, and then we end up losing to that lot. I can't take that. So just do not lose, and show again that you're a bit more stronger and mentally tougher team. Right. Yeah, that's pretty much all we've got time for. We've pretty much talked about everything. We can't really talk about anything more other than going over what we've talked about. And yeah, like we said at the start as well, the racism that Richarlison received, or whoever, anyone that's received, Sterling, Saka, Rashford, Sancho, and countless others, absolutely disgraceful. Something has to change there. But yeah, we mentioned that. If you want to see that discussion, that's at the start. That's the first thing we talk about after the introductions. Big thanks to Ben as well, who unfortunately had to go early. So catch him at the Coffee Company. That's on YouTube. And also Tottenham on Tour. Lovely segue to Brian. Yeah, all the channels are in the description, as are the Twitter handles. But yeah, Brian, Tottenham on Tour.
Yeah, I mean, regards to Tottenham on Tour, new content's been very slow coming out at the moment because people are busy. Plus, I have not documented it, but I've got a lot of personal issues going on right now. So it's put a kind of a buffer, or sorry, a halt to what we're doing at the moment. Not because we don't want to, and not because we're not coming back. Just trying to get times where one of us are free, or two of us, or whatever. Has been a pain in the ass, but that will be changing. That will be changing very, very shortly. So there will be a lot more content from us. But what you can find us, it'll be me with my guest Bobby K today, because Brian Island's working. Is every Friday night now at 8 a.m. Toronto and Eastern time and 1 a.m. back home. Tottenham on Tour take over We Are Tottenham TV. And we basically do, because they do Good Morning Tottenham, as we know, We Are Tottenham TV are 125,000 subscribers. And obviously they're all over the world. And there's a lot of people that live on certain time zones where they don't get to watch a live show or don't get to call in because they're in bed or working, whatever. So we do this show for We Are Tottenham TV to obviously get our names out there, but obviously to give their subscribers a chance to be a part of a live show. And obviously, funnily enough, there's one topic that's dominated tonight's show, and that's will Haaland score in the United? No, it's all roads lead to the filth. The streak continues. The stain remains. And yes, so you can find me, Ben Kaufman, Daddy Kiriakou, Daddy, got my manners there, Daddy Kiriakou, Pride Island, Ben Kaufman, and obviously we have matchday content that we will be uploading shortly from Ryan Isaacs, Ben, and when Amir gets to go to games, he will get to go to games and do stuff as well. So there is a lot to come, and we apologise for the shortness of new content, but it is coming very, very soon and regularly at Tottenham on Tour. And Chris, it's always a pleasure. Listen, we need to get you to 300 likes. You're getting close to the next milestone. So everyone's better like.
But yeah, definitely. Always great having you on. Always great chatting to you and chatting to you on many streams, not just this, not just yours. But yeah, get over to Tottenham on Tour. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. And Steve Featley TV. Steve is an Arsenal fan, but a lot of his content is neutral and not just it's football content rather than just Arsenal. But yeah, Steve Featley TV, Featley TV. Sorry.
Yeah, we're live at 4 p.m. with with our own preview for the North London derby. Then we're so we've got that at 4 p.m. So that'll be with the Hotspur Hood and Spurs Persuasion TV as well.
Tommy and Eugene there, great people. Those are great, great channels as well.
Also with my co-host Manny, an Arsenal fan, and Say, who's just started his own channel, King's Football Show. And then 8 p.m. we've got a prediction stream. So if you're free around, just pop on. The link will be in the chat, I believe. I'll probably put it in there, and you can jump on and give your predictions, or you can give it in the chat, whichever one you want to do. And then what else we got coming up? We've got Miss Mill on that should be with us for the watch along for the North London derby. Then match reaction will probably be about 4 p.m. after that. Then for the then on my F1 channel, which is instead of putting TV on the end, you put F1 on the end. So on this feed, the F1, we've got a preview on Saturday for the Singapore Grand Prix. No qualifying watch along because of the North London derby, because it runs into it. So we won't be doing that, but we will be doing the race watch along for the Grand Prix, so for the Singapore Grand Prix. And then we're doing a weekend review after that on the Sunday as well. So if you're interested in F1, literally type the same name in, just put F1 on the end instead of TV and go and subscribe to that. And like I said, as much as it's Arsenal content, it's also Premier League content as well. So if you just fan that wants their, if you want just a general opinion to be heard, give us a shout, and we'll get you on one of our shows on SVT TV. And with every stream we do, with every stream we do and every membership that we gain, and every donation that's donated to us via monetization, it all goes to Children's Liver Disease Foundation.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic that, and yeah, it's a brilliant channel. If you like your Formula One as well, stick F1 on the end. But yeah, thanks so much, Steve, for coming on.
Plus, you also get updates on when I'm deciding to cause trouble and cause be in hospital.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks so much for coming on. Always good having the Spurs opinion, but always good having the opinion of the fans of the team that we're playing as well as a kind of. I can't think of the other side of the equation, as it were. But yeah, thanks so much for coming on, Ben, as well. Yeah,
you can say it. The real rulers in North London.
We'll see. We'll see about 2:30 on tomorrow. Or at
Yeah,
the end of the
mate. 2:30 p.m. doesn't matter. We'll still be no rulers in North London.
Yeah, well, it's taken an hour and a half to get it a bit, angry and everything. But yeah, appreciate Brian coming on, Steve coming on, Ben coming on. Please hit the like, please hit the subscribe before you go. 274 subscribers at the moment. It'd be great to get up to 300 by the game tomorrow. Jump over to Tottenham on Tour, S-Feetly TV, the coffee company as well. Do the same thing. Subscriptions if you haven't already. Go watch the videos, go watch the live videos. Hit the notification bell as well. I think that's a forgotten thing on YouTube. It gives you a notification every time a show is going to go live on a channel that you subscribe to. Also, if you like a bit of magic, I've got a side channel, Chris's Magic, just a little trick once a week, Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. UK time. It's only a few minutes, unlike this, which is an hour and a half out of your day. It's only a few minutes, so
I heard his next trick is
he's magic.
I heard his next trick is on Saturday when he changes the score from a 2-1 Tottenham to 2-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, unfortunately, not being called David Blaine, I'm not that good. But yeah, but yeah, appreciate you for watching. Everyone in the comments and everyone who's hit the like, watch the channel in the comments. Please do it. Keep it going. Hit the likes, hit the subscribe. Tottenham Tour, S-Feetly TV, Coffee Company, Chris Magic do all the same thing. You know the drill by now. And yeah, let's see if I'm in this good a mood in 24 hours. Let's hope I am. And it's Steve who's in a bad mood in 24 hours after a famous win at the Emirates. I'll be back on Monday. We're back now on this channel rather than the Hotspur Hood. So Monday, 7:30 p.m. UK time. That'll be the review. Come what may, win, lose or draw. There'll be a review there. So check that out as well. Hopefully it's a happy review. But, we've got to do it anyway. So, yeah, in the meantime, let's hope we can win this at North London derby. Let's hope Kulusevski is fit. It's only rumours at the moment and potential injury. Let's hope he is fit and we can get that win. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, Spurs.
Come on, Arsenal.
Thank you so much for watching, for everybody who joined in the live chat. Before you go, please leave a like and hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell. You'll be notified when we go live. For anyone who missed the live stream and catches on Let's Talk Tottenham's YouTube account whenever you want, please leave any comments or suggestions in the comments box. For anyone who listens to the audio-only podcast, thank you so much for listening. Anyone who wants that audio-only podcast, you can get that wherever you get your podcast from. Alternatively, go to our Twitter account at @LTalkTottenham or Instagram account Let's Talk Tottenham Podcast for all the information there. We're back on Mondays on the Hotspur Hood YouTube channel, 7:30 p.m. UK time, and back on Let's Talk Tottenham's YouTube channel at 12:30 p.m. UK time as well. For anyone who wants something a bit different, not just football, and likes their magic, please head over to Chris's Magic YouTube channel. One trick a week, Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. UK time as well. It always drops then. And thanks for watching.